The late great Roddy Piper once said, just when they think that they've got all the answers, I change the questions. And that's what leads me to today's video, where we're going to be talking about an Amazon KDP alternative that just came up from out of nowhere, but was established by a company that has been in the business for over 30 years. Where have I been? I don't know, because I just found out about a fantastic company called Bookvault that is based out of the UK, and they're primarily focused on print on demand, or so I thought at a quick glance. And as we are starting to launch this video here, I've just found out that they're going to be getting distribution into the US. And so this is super exciting news. Rather than me telling you all of these answers here, I'm going to go ahead and have the questions loaded up with our guest over from Bookvault. So let's just get right on into the interview. So Alex, this has been a long time coming, because as you and I were just kind of discussing, you guys have quite the devoted account holders with Bookvault. Like, how did you build such an amazing culture like that, where they're like, we will die for Bookvault?
It's great, yeah. As I think it's very much a collaborative kind of environment. Certainly, as we're kind of building up and ramping up, we're definitely taking a lot of feedback and mingling in a lot of the community events and that side of things. So it's really good to have a lot of supporters that are so helpful for us as well.
I found it very interesting, and I did a little bit of digging, and actually you gave me just some of that information. I do appreciate it. Bookvault has been around for a while. Could you give just a brief recap of the history of Bookvault? How did it come into play, and what brought you into the equation?
Yeah, so we've been going, we're part of a large company called Print on Demand Worldwide. So we've been going for nearly 30 years now. And as part of that, we built Bookvault to service our larger publisher customers. So around about 10 years ago, we had a couple of larger publishers that wanted to print their backlist as a POD option. So we built Bookvault around them. Fast forward to about 2 years ago, we kind of had been servicing publishers, but we really wanted to service the indie community as well. And so that's why we kind of opened the gates, I'd say, to allow anyone to sign up, create an account, and kind of use the publisher grade features, but for kind of general use as well.
What would be one thing that you would say, or you can name a few things if you wish, what are a few things that you feel set you apart from other print-on-demand companies?
I think certainly something we get a lot of comments on at the moment is quality. We invested a lot of infrastructure into our printing facility in the UK. So we're able to print in coated stocks all on an inkjet device. So it keeps the cost quite low, but also keeps really nice quality books. So we see quite a lot of children's books come through, as well as really nice, normal books with illustrations in. Because of our pricing model, we only charge per colour page used. So if you had 100 mono pages with, say, 2 illustrations in, we'd only charge you for those 2 pages with the illustrations. So it's a really affordable model. I know Joanna Penn recently, when she kind of launched her direct selling, did a nice splash page as soon as you open the book in colour, and it kind of adds a real nice premium theme feel to the books as well.
That is a huge difference, because it's an all or nothing thing on other platforms. You guys are allowing just a little bit. So if someone just wants just a few color illustrations, they're not going to be penalized for it.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the really nice thing. You can really put a premium touch to your products, and I think that's the whole point. The more you can make them feel premium, the higher you can the list price, and then the more you can earn through selling them. So it's a really good kind of thing from there.
What would you say are your more popular print books that you guys are putting out? Hardcover with dust jacket, paperbacks. What does that look like?
I mean, generally, kind of like we do a lot of mono paperbacks, kind of your novels and stuff like that. But we're seeing a much larger rise in the children's books, the kind of special bindings. So, say a cloth book with a dust jacket and embossing on the front as well. They're kind of rising, and I think that's just because there's such a gap in the market that people, as soon as they think it's going to be really expensive and not able to do it. So we're seeing more and more of those come over to Bookvault, because it's just a really easy way of doing those special editions. And again, kind of the whole point of, if you can make a book seem more premium, you can sell it for a higher price and earn more. So it's a better alternative to kind of earning more from each sale.
There's one thing you just said, and I feel like you kind of glossed over it so fast, that I think we should probably come back to it is that you have embossing on hardcover books with dust
Yes.
jackets, where
Yes.
there are some companies that have the hardcover with dust jacket. They don't have that embossing whatsoever, because when you take off that cover, who knows what that book is?
Exactly, yeah. So we can do embossing in both a gold and silver foil on the spine, and also on the front cover as well. So, and we do dust jackets on both kind of printed hardcovers and also the leatherettes. I think we have 7 different leatherette colours at the moment. So your greens, blues, fake leather, kind of a kind of fabric feel as well. So again, it's all those kind of little upsells you can do on each product to earn more money.
Okay, so let's break it down here and talk about a few of the areas I think that I'm most interested in. Let's start it out first of all with distribution. Where is Bookvault currently distributing to? Where can we reach it? What are some of the perks that they have included? Because one of the things I really liked is the fact that I can do self-fulfillment through my own website. So share a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so distribution options, we've got either your kind of traditional retailers, so that's very much focused at the UK at the moment. However, we are expanding it to worldwide. So we list on your Amazons as a kind of third-party seller. We list on Gardeners, we list on kind of a Libris and those side of things. In terms of, as you say, the direct fulfillment, we also have our kind of integrations, and that's something we're really kind of focused on, because personally, and I think as a company, we feel it's a way forward, cutting out the middleman of Amazon, and that it's still great to sell through Amazon, but if you direct customers to your own store straight away, you're cutting out the 30% that they would take. So yeah, we've got an integration for Shopify, integration for WooCommerce, and also Zapier. So that kind of enables you to plug different things together in a central location. And then we automatically take those orders, we fulfill them and send them directly to the customer as well as providing kind of up-to-date shipping prices. So the customer pays exactly what you would pay on the website. So it's a really kind of hands-off.
So what does the fulfillment and delivery time typically look like for you guys?
So from our UK facility, we can get a paperback out in the same day. So if you order it before kind of 6 a.m, we will print it and ship it the same day. Hardbacks are 2 to 3 days. And then just the general kind of thing, if you're ordering normal author copies, they take 5 to 7 days. Although to be fair, at the moment we're printing them in 4 to 5. We're working quite quickly. But yeah, and then in terms of shipping, obviously in the UK we can do next day shipping. To America, it's around about 5 to 7 business days. That's through a consolidator we use, although we are launching our US print facility partnership in the coming weeks as well. We're just finalising the kind of test shipment, so that will be local printing in the States as well.
Oh, nice. So that will really cut down on the delivery time then, and you guys can be able to fulfill a lot quicker speed then, I imagine.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the way that we're doing it is we're going to still allow customers to choose. So if they want to use our facility, they still can and ship it across the States, or you can print directly in the US to the customer. So it's kind of the choice on the end user as well.
Interesting. Gosh, there's so much that you're sharing with me that I didn't realize prior to us even chatting. So this gets me so excited. So my apologies if I jump all over the map here.
Oh, no, not at all.
Let's look at royalty, because a lot of people are going to say, show me the money. What does this royalty structure look like? And also something I probably haven't even covered yet is you guys do print books. Do you handle anything other than print books, like ebooks or audiobooks?
So that's something exciting coming in, I'd say, the next couple of months. We're working behind the scenes developing it. So that's the first time it's been said, to be fair. So we're looking at the direct fulfillment of digital content, as well as kind of the distribution of digital content as well. We want to get the US side sorted, but then we're going to kind of be working on digital content as well, because it's not where the industry's heading, but I think if you have it all in one place, then you can look at doing bundles of, say, especially with direct selling, if you buy my print book, you'll also get a free copy of the digital book as well. So it's kind of those little upsells.
Yeah, that is tremendous, and that is so great to hear that you guys are continually innovating and really, I hate to say this, creating a nice competitive environment that we've needed for so long. And now I'm starting to understand why a lot of your account holders are so happy with what you guys are doing. What would you say is another feature that people are really enjoying that they haven't shared with me already, besides the print quality?
As you say, the direct sales is something we're seeing a lot of kind of hype around, but as well something that people are really enjoying. If they can't make it to direct selling, we have our own retailer, the Great British Bookshop. So that distributes globally again through our one centralized site, and because that's a site that we own, again you kind of cut out the middleman. So we charge a 5% print reduction, so you'll pay 5% less print if a sale comes through there. We also only take a 10% cut. So effectively, in terms of royalties, you can earn 90% minus the print cost. So that's nice. A really good way of, and we have that as a kind of stepping stone. If you can't make the jump to direct sales yet, it's a platform that you're able to kind of direct people to over than the large retailers to get those sales in.
That is really, really cool. Gosh, there's a million questions going through my head. My apologies.
Okay.
I'm really excited about so much of what Bookvault has to offer. But I think one thing that really does, the other thing that sets you guys apart is the entire account holder process. Because I noticed that there are, first of all, upload fees. And there's also, you have some type of subscription-based process. Walk me through what all that entails, because I know there's going to be some people, they're going to cover their ears and say, la, 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 I don't want to pay to upload because I can go to these other sites for free and upload them. Speak on that for just a second.
Yeah, so when Bookvault kind of became open, we didn't have an upload fee. But what we did generally find is a lot of people kind of came on board, uploaded 20,000 books, all with different colours of different kittens, low content, kind of clogging at the system.
Oh,
and that,
no.
Yeah, that kind of realised that was a problem. So we put that upload fee in as, in a way, a barrier for that, but it's more of a kind of commitment, because we're really quite helpful. We've got live chats, phones, emails, will help with any issues. We want people to kind of commit to us as well. So that initial upload fee is a one-off fee. There's no cost for revising files. There's no cost for changing content. It's just to upload that file. If you're a member of Ally, there's 5 free uploads a month, so that kind of removes that fee. Exactly. And also, as you mentioned, we've got our plans. So say you're going to upload more than 5 titles in a month, you can upgrade to our Bookvault Pro plan, and that then enables as many free uploads as you want. But the great thing about the plans as well is that you can chop and change them, so you don't tie yourself in for 6 months. You can say upload your backlist the first month on the Bookvault Pro plan and then drop back down to the free tier, and you don't pay any ongoing monthly fees.
Look at that. You're showing people ways around. Amazing.
As I say, it's and especially when obviously Ingram recently removed their fees, it was something we sat down and thought, do we remove ours too? But as I say, it's very much that it's kind of, we want that commitment. And as I say, our print prices are generally on par to Ingram and KDP. So you're kind of unlocking those print prices as well as getting all the additional support, the features and that side of things. So as I say, there's ways around it as well to make it more beneficial.
Well, to your credit, though, and I know I don't think it's very fair to put you in a position to agree or disagree here at this point, but Ingram doesn't allow for low content books. Are you guys going to set up some type of a policy that you don't allow for low content books, or will you continue to do that so long as they still pay for the subscription or the upload fees?
Yeah, so we have a section on publishing guidelines on our website, and we do allow low content, and we do support it. However, we don't guarantee we can distribute it, because there's a lot of retailers that look at it and just instantly shut the door. But as I say, as long as they adhere to the fees, they're completely fine to upload them. And as I say, we will support it. But as I say, we need that investment beforehand, because the people that are happy to pay those fees are the sort of people that will market it and kind of make sales from it.
Right. They're so much more invested. They got skin in the game, and that makes a lot of sense. But I think that's really, really cool to see that you guys are still offering an avenue. Whether that additional retail distribution is going to happen is not on you guys. It's going to be on the actual retailers.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, the Great British Bookshop, they say, done by us, we'll take it on. So at least you'll have at least one avenue, and then also your own store as well, which you can earn more. So yeah, as I say, and we do try and get it onto Amazon, but sometimes they've got a red flag against the publisher name or something and won't allow it to be uploaded. But yeah, it's a case of we'll take it on and try and sell.
When I upload to Bookvault, Where exactly can I end up purchasing it? Am I going to find that on, say, like a Walmart.com or a Target.com? What are some big sites that I can anticipate that it would be available? And will that change based on fiction, nonfiction, or low content books? Like, because I know you said you can't promise for low content. Does that apply to fiction and nonfiction as well?
So in terms of the upload, once you enable distribution, we then send it out to our retailers. So I know a Libris, they kind of pass it out to other retailers. It's mainly online at the moment, but I know with us having a US presence, that's going to enable a lot more expandability to retailers. So in the UK, we distribute with Gardeners. In the US, we're aiming to distribute with Ingram and kind of go down the Ingram distribution network, and that will, again, as you say, allow access to retailers such as those. So it's certainly a very much a work in progress from our side, but I think that's what we kind of say, and we're very open about it, that the whole point of going wide is you don't focus on one particular partner to do everything. So Ingram may be able to distribute better at the moment, but then we can do your kind of higher quality and direct selling books as well.
What would you think would increase the odds for me to be placed into a retailer's website for sale? Because obviously someone could probably, at a retail site, look at this journal and go, yeah, I'm good, I'm not putting that on there. So what are some of the hallmarks of a good publication that would be accepted by retailers?
I think it's very much the content. We see a lot of low content books and stuff that come over to us, and the description is just a very generic one of your one-stop notepad, get it now, and stuff like that. People, as soon as they see the word notepad, very short description, they just throw it out the door. So it's all about kind of coming up with creative ways and coming up with good copy. I mean, a good way these days, I'm quite a techie person, so using it's a frowned upon thing, but by some people, AI to kind of come up with nice descriptions and help with that ad copy is a great way of doing it.
Yeah, I've played a lot with ChatGPT and putting together book descriptions, and though it's not perfect, it certainly helps out, because I think there's that blank page theory of that blank page sits there and you just stare at it because you're trying to hope for some type of inspiration to hit you. But I agree with you on this one. Now, there might be some viewers and listeners that probably would disagree wholeheartedly, but to me, when you're really just creating a book description of your own book,
exactly, yeah,
does it really even matter? So that is very interesting that you're sharing, like, hey, dress up your book descriptions just a little bit more. How much do you think the cover, the title, and keywords come into play for getting distribution through retailers?
Certainly the cover. I think that's the first thing you see, isn't it, when you're on a retail page? If you've got a very boring looking cover, people are just going to move on to the next one, especially on a retailer like Amazon, where you're kind of sat around all the other books. A good cover, it's definitely the kind of one of the key factors. In terms of titles as well, I think that's another big thing we've seen. If you've got a very generic title of just dotted notepad, that people, again, it's going to get turned off by retailers, it's going to get turned off by people. So you really need kind of like an inventive title to, again, just describe what the product is as well.
Nice. And what about keywords? Is there, like, because obviously something like Kindle Direct Publishing has the 7 back-end keywords, but you look at something like, say, Kobo Writing Life that does ebooks and audiobooks, they don't have a back-end keywords, but they do look at keywords within a description or a title.
Yeah, I think the more information you can give, the better. I mean, we've just recently upgraded our wholesale platform to enable keywords, because we've seen, as you say, on things like Amazon, keywords are vital. It's all about that research to, as you say, match the terms to what people are searching for. So I think some good targeted keywords are really, especially for Amazon, very kind of needed.
Interesting. In a perfect world, what is Bookvault going to look like eventually? What is that going to mean for a self-published author like myself?
I think it's going to be, we want to be different to the rest. That's the thing. So I'm actually a developer myself. So I'm one of the ones that writes the software. So I attend all the events as well, because it's great to mingle with people, see what they want. And that's where I'll come back from like 20 Books Vegas and then spend the next 3 weeks 24/7 trying to add things that people have recommended. So I think for us, it'll be, we want to evolve the platform to be what the creatives want. And equally, I think we want to offer things that maybe aren't available with POD. So I know in the latter end of the year, we're introducing things like head and tail bands onto books, ribbons. We're even looking at things like putting them into box sets. Again, it's those little upsells to kind of increase prices. I say, Can't confirm everything, but that's certainly things we're exploring because,
Yeah.
Again, especially with direct sales, the more that you can make it bespoke, and especially with Kickstarter as well, if you make something a special edition, you can earn a lot more from it.
Wow. You just said something I think that probably really got a lot of listeners paying attention, and that was it's just so many features, but box sets. Just being able to create box sets alone is phenomenal, because to my knowledge, the only type or way that you can get box sets created these days is through offset printers. And if you guys are able to get that, oh my gosh, that's it. Game over for everybody else. The competition's going to need to start stepping it up. And that is really good, because I think competition creates innovation. And I'm really glad, Alex, that you and your team are doing something like this. And by the way, folks are probably thinking they're paying me to say this. This is cool. I really like seeing something like this. We burned through 20 minutes like it was nobody's business. And I feel like we could nerd out about Bookvault all day long. But I think that it's time for us to kind of wrap things up. And I ask what I ask every other guest before you, and that is, what advice do you have for aspiring authors and self-publishers out there?
I think it's the whole point of thinking wide, and that the whole point of going wide. You don't want to focus on one platform for one thing. You want to look at all the available options and do each platform to what it does best. So I think it's very much, just have an open mind and kind of use everyone to their advantages.